Hello everyone, with Jamaica here. Welcome to this updated video on the weather across Jamaica and the rest of the Caribbean. It is Sunday evening, February 25, 2024. Now before we jump into it, please ensure that you guys like the video, share it, subscribe and tap the notification bell so that you'll be notified every time I post a brand new video. Feel free to leave a comment down in the comment section letting me know what weather has been like in your area recently. Also feel free to ask any weather related question that you might have about the future of the weather in your specific area. Alright, so let us take a look at the surface map of the Atlantic for this evening. We can see that we have a cold front stretching all the way from northern section of North Atlantic all the way down into portions of the southern Bahamas, the Turks and Caicos, eastern Cuba, and the western Caribbean, including sections of the Cayman Islands right there off to the west of Jamaica, stretching down into portions of Central America. And we can also see some broken orange lines right here associated with a trough stretching all the way into portions of the Caribbean. As a matter of fact, it was this trough, excuse me, that has been affecting portions of Jamaica for the past day or two, with some amount of overcast skies and some isolated showers in some spots. And it was basically lingering, meandering in the area, not moving much at all. We can also see a ridge of high pressure right there across the northeastern section of North Atlantic that's responsible for sending all of those easterly trade winds across the main development region, bring a lot of dust off of Africa as well. And if we take a look at the visible satellite images of the Atlantic before the sun went down, we can see the clouds associated with that trough still affecting portions of Puerto Rico, the eastern section of Dominican Republic, sections of Haiti, sections of Jamaica with some amount of overcast skies and isolated showers. We can also see the clouds associated with that cold front stretching all the way from northern section of North Atlantic all the way down into portions of the southern Bahamas, sections of the Turks and Caicos, eastern Cuba and the western Caribbean. We'll be talking more about the Caribbean's weather later on. Let us focus our attention on what happened across Jamaica for today. So in the morning we saw that we had a buildup of clouds across sections of northern Jamaica as usual. You know the drill, especially in this time of year, the winter season. Then during the afternoon we saw some clouds building up across sections of some southern parishes. So we definitely had some amount of overcast skies and some isolated showers in some spots, and we even had some of our commenters confirming the rainfall. Jody once said, stating, cloudy with a chance of meatball. Rich stating drizzle in St. Catherine. Sash stating nice. Ruth stating cloudy and cool. St. James. Shayna Lay stating raining now in Portmore. Even on our Instagram page, excuse me, we have some commenters confirming the weather in their area. Sassy La Hermosa stating drizzling in Clarendon. SZH Berry stating wishing this weather on Monday morning at 5 a.m. Nad Smith stating drizzling in Clarendon. Then we had Panton Giavon stating light rainfall in Spanish Town. Then Menzie Davis stating it is now cloudy. And we even have the live camera from See Jamaica's YouTube channel. If you don't know by now, we have a partnership with that channel, and we can actually see that they were indeed getting some amount of isolated showers across the corporate area today. Excuse me. We saw that the streets were wet, and even earlier we had some people walking around with their umbrellas overhead. If we take a look at the visible satellite images of Jamaica before the sun went down, we saw that the clouds were definitely lingering, meandering. More of those clouds coming in from the south across southern Jamaica, from the southwest. It was more of a variable kind of condition. Northern Jamaica getting more of those clouds from the northeast. Either way, it was quite a cloudy day, and even right now with the latest infrared satellite images, we still have a lot of cloud cover across the island, bringing more in the way of overcast skies than anything else. if not some isolated showers in some spots. And the Cuban Doppler radar images confirm the rainfall. We can actually see the greens that represent the light to moderate rainfall, especially across the waters to the south of the island section of St. Catherine, getting in on some of that rainfall right now. If we take a look at the temperatures right now, we can see about 26 degrees Celsius. That's 25 degrees Celsius in Montego Bay, 24 degrees Celsius in Kingston. And by about 4 a.m. on Monday, temperature should dip down to about 20 degrees Celsius in Kingston, 24 degrees Celsius in Montego Bay. And we know that these temperatures are not 100% accurate. Either way, as it relates to what the GFS is forecasting in terms of the temperatures for tomorrow, we can see that the cooler than average temperatures that usually come with the cold front should be to the north of Jamaica for 1 p.m. on a Monday. This cold front is going to bring more in the way of rainfall than anything else, as we can see that 1 p.m. on Monday has more in the way of grays across majority of Jamaica. We know the grays, as you can see by the key on the right, represents the 0 on the scale, so that's average temperatures. That's what's being expected for tomorrow. I will know the average temperatures for the month of February across Jamaica, 86.4 degrees Fahrenheit. When we take a look at the thermometer, 86.4 degrees Fahrenheit. It's about the same as 30 degrees Celsius. As it relates to the dry air map, the dry air is represented by the yellows, oranges, and reds, as you can see by the key on the bottom. And we can see that there's a lot of dry air across the region, stretching all the way from the Gulf of Mexico into the Caribbean and into the main development region as well. As it relates to the Saharan dust forecast for 2 p.m. on Monday, we do see those brown shadings that represent the Saharan dust stretching all the way from Africa across the main development region into portions of the South Central and Eastern Caribbean. But we do see more and we have those lighter shades of browns across the Caribbean region. And even although we can get some hazy skies and some respiratory illnesses being triggered in some people, we're glad that we're not getting that vigorous plume that we normally see with those darker shades of browns. That all of that is going to be saved up until later on this year, maybe June into July. Taking a look at the wave forecast for tomorrow, you can see that both maps from the Euro and the GFS are showing more in the way of light to dark blue colors, light blue to at least blue colors, not dark blue. And we know all of that is representative of anything from 0.5 meter to 1 meter wave height, as we can see by the key on the bottom right. So fishers and marine interests will have a wonderful day, especially considering that the winds are not going to be that strong. It's the winds that drive these waves, and we see that the winds should be coming in from the northeast across northern Jamaica. Southern Jamaica not getting in on much wind. Either way, we can see the darker shade of blue. That means the air is going to be piling up from the northeast. So whatever rainfall comes off of the sea tomorrow to affect sections of northern Jamaica, it's definitely going to be piling up during the afternoon to affect sections of some southern parishes with some amount of afternoon isolated showers. And we can see that these winds are definitely going to be averaging anywhere from 5 to 10 to even 15 knots in some spots. So it's not really that strong of a wind that's expected tomorrow. Either way, considering the wind direction from the northeast, we can expect that relief rainfall across northern Jamaica. We know relief rainfall is when we have those prevailing winds from the northeast. Those northeast trade winds are going to bring forth some amount of rainfall as those clouds rise, and then we have condensation. And then, as usual, the rain shadow on the southern parishes side of the island. So less rainfall, especially during the morning hours. But we can't, be sure for the afternoon. As usual, some of these stray clouds might make it over on the southern side of the island, and then daytime heating will bring forth some rainfall. So for your information, in northern parishes, we're talking about Hanover, St. James, Trelawney, St. Anne, St. Mary, Portland. Southern parishes, we're talking about St. Thomas, Kingston, St. Andrew, St. Catherine, Clarendon, Manchester, St. Elizabeth, and Westmoreland. And as relates to the rainfall that's expected, taking a look at both of these maps from the Euro and the GFS, where do we see the blues that represent rainfall? We see the rainfall across sections of northern Jamaica right there, and this is valid for 3 a.m. and we see the consensus sections of especially northeastern Jamaica. So St. Thomas, Portland getting in on the action. Then, if we actually take a look, excuse me, at 2 p.m. on Monday, we're starting to see more of those blues that represent rainfall across sections of some eastern, central, and western parishes in Jamaica. So we see the consensus on both the Euro and the GFS malls, so that increases the chance of it actually happening. Eastern parishes, we're talking about those parishes in the county of Surrey, so Portland, St. Thomas, Kingston, St. Andrew. Central parishes, we're talking about those parishes in the county of Middlesex, so St. Anne, St. Mary, Manchester, Clarendon, St. Catherine. Western parishes, we're talking about those parishes in the county of in the county of Cornwall, sorry. So St. Elizabeth, St. James, Hanover, Westmoreland, and Trelawney. And that's definitely what we just saw. And even by 5 p.m., we still have much of the same. This was 2 p.m. Now this is 5 p.m. Not much of a difference. Still having some blues that represent rainfall, affecting sections of eastern, central, and western Jamaica. And it makes sense that the accumulated precipitation forecast is showing rainfall across the island within the next 24 hours. Even although it's not that much in terms of the rainfall totals, this map from the year showing up to only 0.22 of an inch of rainfall across the east. GFS, something a bit higher, maybe up to 0.25 with those yellows, especially across the Portland area. Either way, we're indeed grateful that we're going to be getting in on that rainfall. We're in the month of February. We're in the driest month of the year. And it's okay if we actually get rainfall this month. We'll take all the rainfall that we can get to put some kind of a dent in the drought that is building up with the lack of rainfall that we usually experience this time of year. Alright, so that's it for the forecast across Jamaica. Let us focus our attention on the rest of the Caribbean. So we do see some amount of clouds bringing some isolated showers in sections of the northeastern Caribbean, sections of Central America, as usual Costa Rica, getting in on the action, and we can see it all even better on the Doppler radar images of the northeastern Caribbean. We can see the greens and even some yellows in there that represent some isolated showers, some light rainfall affecting northwestern Puerto Rico as we speak. Sections of the US Virgin Islands getting in on the action right now. Western side of that island, that is. Sections of Antigua and Barbuda, Guadeloupe, Dominica getting in on some of that isolated shore activity. And if we take a look at the Barbados radar, we can actually see some isolated shore activity affecting sections of Barbados coming in from the northeast to affect especially the eastern side of the island. Definitely affecting section of the Grenadine Islands right now. Some amount of isolated shores for that region. Maybe section of southern Dominica, section of Martinique getting in on some of the action too. And if we take a look at the wider view of Doppler radar images, we can see that we also have some amount of rainfall affecting sections of Guyana as well. If we take a look at the temperature forecast for tomorrow, we can see that we do indeed have more in the way of average temperatures across majority of the Windward Islands, just some slightly above normal temperatures as represented by these yellows and slight oranges across sections of the northern and northeastern Caribbean. So anywhere from Haiti, Dominican Republic eastward should be getting on those slight above normal temperatures. Anywhere from Guadeloupe southward should be getting on those average temperatures, except for Venezuela, Guyana, Suriname, and French Guiana that should be getting in on those above normal temperatures as well. Below normal temperatures expected for anywhere from Florida and its surrounding areas. The Bahamas definitely getting in on those below average temperatures. Turks and Caicos, sections of Cuba, the Cayman Islands, sections of Belize area getting in on those slightly below normal temperatures as well. And we know most of that won't be noticeable, especially when the daytime, when we have the sunshine, we won't really notice that until the nighttime or the early morning hours. As relates to the Saharan dust forecast for 2 p.m. on Monday, we do see some slight browns that represent the Saharan dust across sections of the southern and the eastern Caribbean. So if your sinusitis or asthma is easily triggered by this, take necessary precautions so that you're not that drastically affected. It could already be bringing some amount of hazy skies as well. As relates to the wave forecast, we do see that majority of the Caribbean should be getting in on those blues, maybe some slight purples that represent anywhere from 1 to 1.5 meter wave heights, maybe close to 2 meter wave heights. And that's because the winds are not going to be that strong at all, averaging anywhere from 5 to 10 to even 15 knots. 15 knots at most. As related to the rainfall forecast, we can see where we have that rainfall in store for sections of the Caribbean. As we can see by the key on the right, the rainfall is represented by the greens, yellows, oranges, and reds. And the more up in this scale we go, the more rainfall that's expected. And these maps are showing all the accumulated rainfall that's expected from now up until 10 p.m. on Monday. And we do see some isolated showers in store for sections of eastern Cuba, all courtesy of that cold front. Section of the southern Bahamas, Turks and Caicos, section of Haiti, Dominican Republic, sections of southeastern Nicaragua, Costa Rica getting in on the action, not to mention sections of northwestern Panama, Colombia, sections of coastal areas excuse me coastal areas of Venezuela may be getting on some of the action as well. You can also see some isolated showers in store for anywhere from Guadeloupe northward to Antigua and Barbuda, areas that are already getting that rainfall. As a matter of fact, St. Kitts and Nevis, Anguilla, sections of St. Martin, DS and British Virgin Islands, sections of Puerto Rico as well. And we know that when both maps from the year and GFS are in consensus like this, the chances of it actually happening are much higher. Alright, so that's it for today. Thanks for watching.